Hey y'all, welcome to the CIOPCC and this week's favorite collection. Now, unlike most favorite collections, this one's going to be a little bit different. Usually I talk about something that's actually grouped together as a collection. Today I'm talking about something that's kind of spread all over the place, but it's got a Halloween theme. I was going to do vampires, but then I realized I'd be here all day, like the Frankenstein monster last week I did this week. I thought instead, let's do werewolves. Problem is, even that's a lot. We're going to start here with The Simpsons. Surprisingly, The Simpsons don't have a lot of werewolves in the collection. They do have Flanders here, though, as a werewolf. This is from one of the Treehouse of Horror episodes. And, of course, this is a Burger King Happy Meal toy, kids' meal toy. One other werewolf that I know of in The Simpsons toys is Bart as a werewolf as part of the Gentle Giant bust-ups that they did. And those are the only two werewolves I have in The Simpsons, which is kind of shocking, really. But what I also realize is there's not a lot of werewolves in cartoons. At least not the cartoons I like. Now, there is a weird rat down here. That's part of Frankenweenie. And if you come around over to this side, there is a weird rabbit from, Weird Rabbit. But getting back on track of real werewolves, here we have one from Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo got every kind of possible monster in the classic sense. And we got some good action figures of a lot of them. Here we have the werewolf. Now let's spin around this way. Slide on up over here towards the Buffy side. But before we talk about Buffy, there's actually two werewolves back there from McFarlane. Oh, the one is behind Voodoo Lady there. See, you can kind of see it back there. It's not a great one. This one is the one he did as part of his Monsters line next to the Frankenstein monster. Let's talk about Oz. There's an Oz. That's a Diamond Select. Well, what's that Diamond Select? That might have been more. This is an Oz here in the library. But it's really Oz up here. I think this is the more Action Collectibles version. And he's wolfing out. This is the one that's really my favorite of the Oz's in the 7-inch line. Come down this way and you'll actually see Pals did some too. They did a regular Oz, of course. These were by Palisades. And they did one where he's starting to wolf out and he's just in chains. And then they had parts you could put together to create one all wolfed out. So those are the Pals from Palisades. Down here, on the far right there, we have the glow-in-the-dark version. Remember I said I was picking up all these glow-in-the-dark Universal Monsters. Rest of them around over here. And, of course, the werewolf is one of those. Up on this line, we have the Altered Beasts werewolf. This is a really oddball one. I had to pick it up, though. The game is just such a terrible game, and it was just so surprising that we even got this. Much better is Werewolf by Night, the old Marvel comic. And here he is, done by Toy Biz, along with several of the other Universal Monsters in their interpretations. McFarlane also did these playsets. Remember, I mentioned these when I was doing the Frankenstein creature last week. And, of course, they did a werewolf with that set who's torn up the hunter. There's his various parts, his torso back in the tree, legs and arms and heads laying around. Nice little playset. Really do enjoy that concept. If we come down around this way, we get a underrated werewolf. This was a really good movie. This is the when they were starting to get Universal Monsters off and rebooted. This was the one with Del Toro playing the Talbot character. And this is Mezco did this. It's a really underrated movie. You get a chance, watch the director's cut. It's very good. Sliding up this way, we get another good werewolf. This one is from the Francis Ford Coppola film, along with that Dracula behind him. And when we come around this side, we get another great film version from Dog Soldiers. If anybody wants to make a new Dog Soldiers one, that'd be great. I'd go for it. And, of course, American Werewolf in London. It's been a long time coming, and I'm hoping we get those other figures that we have been promised from a couple different companies. But at least we got the werewolf. Eddie Munster's a werewolf, and there he is with his werewolf doll, Wolfie. I don't know how the genetics work in the family, but you know, he was a werewolf. So let's come down around and talk about stuff over here on this shelf. Up on the top, we got another one of the tall versions from Mezco. This guy also from the remake, the bloody version. And across over on the other side, that's a werewolf from Underworld. We walk down this way. Let's see. You know, I mentioned the Frankenstein in the black and white version from Sideshow, and I also have that first series Wolfman. I have him in the glow in the dark that they did. Diamond Select did a couple versions. I kept the regular version carded as well as one of the deluxe versions that you're going to see in a minute, just so you can see what the cards look like. Down here we have the NECA version with the NECA mummy. He's a little separated from the other figures from that line, but I put him over here with some of his brethren. Like this is the Diamond Select version. I'm going to slide down. Oh, there's a little Art Asylum did these. Actually, Diamond Select did these. Sideshow version. Next to the Werewolf of London version, also from Sideshow. And I'm pretty sure these are Toy Island. I know I keep meaning to check, but I'm not sure yet. Come down this way and we have a classic. I Was a Teenage Werewolf. I wish we would get some more of these classic figures at a price that I could afford. I know that there's a couple of companies doing some of these in the $300 range, but considering the cost of the license, that's a little much. Sideshow, again, with their Werewolf of London and his natty outfit. Another good dresser was, of course, Lawrence Talbot, before he turned into the werewolf. And the Bela Lugosi Gypsy. Finished off with the classic Wolfman. Down below we have another one of the little guys. This time it is one of the Mezits. Now we'll come down this way. Dark Shadows had a werewolf, Chris Jennings. There he is in a Mego style. In front of him we have some of those Sideshow little big heads, and there's the Wolfman. Down on the floor we have the skateboarding version. I'll show you another one in a minute here. As soon as we look at Oz, here he is wolfing out. This is the better of the two because he's wolfing out. But of course Sideshow also did a normal looking Oz. Remember I said there was another one of those little big heads. He's down here. Wrestling a little big head werewolf. And in back, we have a Diamond Select did these really great banks. We have the Wolfman version, and another Universal Wolfman, also from Sideshow, this mini bust. Now you might think, well, we're done in the horror section, so that's all of them. No, there's a few more werewolves around. And of course, I've mentioned before how you can always get, when you're doing one of these lists, you can find a good monster, classic style, Nightmare Before Christmas, and they did, of course, their own werewolf. Another great design. Now we're going to finish up with a couple of werewolves that you probably forgot about over here in Harry Potter. Now I know you know about Remus, but what about Greyback? Here he is in the Popco line. This is the 4-inch line. But they also did him as a mini bust from Gentle Giant. One of the tail enders. This is towards the end. I think they only did 600 of that one. Of course, they did do Remus in both his normal look and his wolfing out look, which is also what Star Ace did over here. They gave us a regular professor and I'm turning into a werewolf professor. And there you have all of the ones that, oh, no, wait a minute. Forgot about NECA. They did Grayback as well. I don't think they did Remus, but I do think, yeah, I don't think they did him. Just the Grayback. At least not that I remember. So there you go. There's all my werewolves. At least that I can think of at the moment. I bet I'm missing some. So let me know if you have any cool werewolves you have in your collection that you really like. And have a great collecting week until Friday when we do the acquisition report for this week. I think we've got 5 things at least this week. Make sure you subscribe, and I hope you have a great week.